Today we're back with my yew, which I air layered off a full-size tree back in 2017. This was another tree that I shoved in a smaller pot when I moved from London, and it got knocked in transit and now it's at this awful angle. As you can see, the growth is leggy and not great. We can sort it out in midsummer. Here in July I removed all of last year's foliage. You just pluck it off, which is tricky to do with one hand, but you get the idea. Doing this will promote back budding along this part. You should just be left with this year's foliage at the tip. I did this across the whole tree. Then give it a week, maybe 2, then you can trim back this year's foliage. Maybe leave 6 sets of needles, something like that. In August you can see the first signs of back budding. I don't know how well you can see it here, but it isn't going to grow properly until next spring, but the tree is preparing. So if you look at the tree in April, you can see the buds more clearly now. And hopefully you can see they are much closer to the main trunk. So we'll be able to cut back the leg growth to these new buds at some point. Hopefully you can also notice some of the buds on the tips were starting to open, so it's a good time to repot. Although I put it in this pot last year, I didn't do any real root work, and I also want to correct that terrible lean. I haven't done any real work to the roots since removing the air layer. The ball sphagnum is still in there somewhere. So after a lot of raking and washing, this is what I have. It's not a perfect 360 of roots, but I'm happy enough with what I've got. I need to remove that bit of wood at the bottom, where the air layer was removed. It has no use now. It was at this point I remembered that yew wood is rock hard. I nearly broke my hand squeezing the cutters. I ended up having to take little bites out of the wood until it was gone. It took ages to do. But we got there, and this is what I have now, a flat base. Also, if you didn't realise, the branch I air layered was at this angle, which is why one side doesn't have any foliage. I'm hoping something will bud out there. If not, it might die back and that'll probably look cool as well. So I'm repotting into this training pot. There's plenty of space for the roots to develop. Yew is a very slow growing tree, so it'll be in here for a few years. I'm happy enough with the trunk. I'm sure it will thicken a little bit, but I'm more concerned with growing some dense foliage. The work I did last July has given the tree loads of back buds. So I'll just let those grow out this year and hopefully they'll become the primary branches. I only did the pinch and cut back trick this year. Here it is in May. It looks much better now it's upright, but you can really see how flat the tree is. The lack of foliage on one side is not a good look, but I'm sure some wire will sort that out if needs be. In June it looks a bit bushier towards the trunk. And if we come a bit closer you can see the amount of shoots further in. Where I cut the tips last year there is new growth. And then just an insane amount of back buds further in. I could cut the leggy stuff off now, but I'm just leaving it. I want the tree to grow strong, so I'll deal with the leggy stuff another time. Look at how dense the new shoots are in July. This is pretty typical of this hobby. Do stuff now and enjoy the rewards in a year. Although it's got a very long way to go, I think this tree is heading in the right direction. Still no growth on that one side, so it probably will just need some branches moved around in the future. But overall I'm quite excited to see where this tree will end up in the next 10 or 20 years. If you haven't already, please subscribe, it really helps me out. I know a lot of you like to comment and hit a thumbs up, so thank you so much. And well, if you didn't like it, please press the thumbs down. Actually, hit it twice so I really know how much you just liked it. Thanks for watching, see you next time.